this episode of the We Are Reading One Piece podcast. This is a podcast dedicated to following the entire story of One Piece from beginning to end as we focus on each volume. We keep the discussion spoiler-free for new fans of the series, so this is the perfect place to follow along, whether you're new to the series or just want to revisit the world of One Piece with us. This week, we will be covering the second part of Volume 72, Dressrosa's Forgotten, which covers chapters 717 through 721. My name is Joel. I'll be your host. Joining me today, we have Evan.
Hello.
And we have Cody.
I just opened up 717 on the app on my tablet, and why are Usopp's calves huge?
He's on skipping leg day.
He's always running away.
He's always running away.
He only does leg day.
He's just grazing every day.
Yeah, but it didn't explain how he got so jacked to the rest of the body, though.
Truly.
This chapter has some fun, some art. No cover story on this one, but yeah,
not to rush things, but I just noticed.
Yeah. So we won't go into too much detail on that.
This was a fun read.
Yeah. There's some points I'm very excited to get to in this one.
Yeah, this one I think answers some questions that we might have. So I think this is going to be a good one to dive into on this week. So
yeah.
Okay, so how about before we get into the story of One Piece, let's get a little recap for where we left off. Law's title as one of the 7 warlords was revoked due to his alliance with Luffy. He was left to face Fujitora and Doflamingo alone. Upon learning that Doflamingo giving up his title and kingdom was a ruse, the deal to hand over Caesar was called off. Sanji, Frankie, and Kinemon learned that the Smile Factory and Kinemon's friend are at the House of Toys. Usopp's lies roped he and Robin into assisting the Tontadas as they prepared to go to the flower field to battle Doflamingo's forces. The Straw Hats defending the Sunny were attacked by Gilua, who has the ability to turn things into living paintings with her devil fruit powers. After his defeat at the Coliseum, Bellamy was given one last path to become one of Doflamingo's officers, killing Luffy. The battle for Block C began with certain names getting attention. However, as the contestants dwindled down, the Battle Royale was left down to 2 fighters, Lucy and Don Zhao.
The showdown.
Turning arc is turning.
Yeah, so lots of moving parts here.
Continues.
Yeah, the alliance is going strong. Law valued the alliance over his title as warlord, so
yeah,
respect
even
him.
with his back against the wall, doubled down.
Mm-hmm.
On the Straw Hat crew. Love it.
Committed to the plan.
Yep. Yeah, and the plan, the bigger plan. Yes. It's all part of the plan.
All right. Well, let's get into the chapter. We're starting with chapter 717, Dressrosa's Forgotten. As Don Zhao relentlessly assaults Luffy, he questions him about who taught him hockey. His rage then turns to tears as he thinks about the treasure he lost due to Garp. Outside the Coliseum, Sanji and Kinemon notice the Navy forces gathering around, led by Vice Admiral Bastille. As Frankie and the toy soldier make their way to the factory, the soldier fills Frankie in on what's been happening in Dressrosa for the past 10 years. Ever since Doflamingo took the throne, 2 laws were strictly enforced: a kingdom-wide curfew at midnight, and all toys must return to the House of Toys. Toys are not allowed to enter human houses, and humans are not allowed to enter the House of Toys. Frankie asks exactly what the toys are since they have their own free will. To help explain, the soldier calls over a toy dog that was spending time with its family. The dog explains his name is actually Milo. He's the father of the boy and the husband of the woman nearby. So when the soldier asks them who the father is, they have no recollection of him. The soldier tells Frankie that Doflamingo brought someone into the kingdom who has the power to turn humans into toys and make the humans forget that person existed. Every toy in the kingdom used to be a person. Back at Greenbit, as Law battles Doflamingo and Fujitora above, below the Tontadas explain to Usoland and Rabaland that their people are being held in a secret factory and forced into labor, including their princess Manchuri. The secret factory is under Corrida Coliseum. All right, it's a big reveal.
Right under our noses.
So where to start on this one?
To start from the top, this is a pretty epic showdown we got. And I think it's cool how they're speaking about the Supreme King, like the Supreme King of Supreme Kings, pretty much. It's like now, because we've we've seen kind of like the power scaling, and we're like, all right, there's multiple people with the Supreme King Haki, and that's not like an exclusive power to one person. It's like we've now met multiple people that have it, and it's kind of cool seeing them talk about it so like matter of factly. Like I feel like every time up till now it's been like, oh my god, Supreme, like people are freaking out because it's like this wow factor. But now they both have this ability and they're squaring off with it, and they're like trading fists, which kind of like puts them on the same level playing field. So it's kind of cool just like seeing us get here. And now we're no longer shocked by Supreme Hockey. We're like having conversations about it. And he's like, yeah, there's levels to this, and you're not at that level.
Yeah, it's like almost expected to really like make your name for yourself at this level of the Grand Line in the new world.
Mhm.
Like, it seems like a lot of the people who have Supreme King Hockey are the people who are rising to the top. But
Yep.
like, I feel like you're at a disadvantage if you don't possess that. So it's almost kind of like just having it isn't alone enough to like prove yourself. It's like you have to have it, and like you said, be the Supreme King of the Supreme Kings.
Right.
You have to have the willpower to progress that far and progress past those who are on that exact same echelon of you. That
Yeah.
is what it means to be king of the pirates, which I think just fits in so well with what we've heard the new world to be.
Mm.
Yeah, it's so sick. And also in this scene, Danjun Zhao asks Luffy who taught him how to wield this hockey. And when he said Raleigh, it was like a hell yeah moment. Like it was such a because we also see like Danjin like kind of twitch and like hide his, surprise that Raleigh is still alive, and like obviously a really big name in the pirating world. So like pretty cool. Pretty cool name drop.
I want to know what his beef with Rayleigh is. We know there's beef with Garp already, but like, is it just that him and Rayleigh were competitors as pirates, or is there something deeper there?
Mm.
I mean, there could be history, or it could be like, oh, Rayleigh, he's just training anybody nowadays. Like, wow, he took time to train you, like you piece of garbage. So I don't know if it's like a disdain for him helping Luffy in particular, just because he has a grudge against Scarp's family, or if it's Rayleigh that he has beef with too. So it's kind of like, is it like a double thing, or is it just this situation?
For me, it's the fact that he calls Rayleigh despicable slime. That seems to be more about Rayleigh's character. And I'm just like, what? What's up there? What's up with you?
Could be.
But I do think you make a good point about like, oh, is he really, just anybody really?
Yeah, I think it's like the so he's still alive part. So he seems to be familiar with Rayleigh, at least to some level.
Yeah.
But if he
Yeah.
has a specific grudge, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at this point. It seems like he's willing to have a grudge and like really hold on to it. He's not a person that just lets things go.
Mm-mm.
It could be like Rayleigh like called him the wrong name or something, and he got like upset. So
Yeah, I feel like he slanders the bloodline later, or if I'm remembering correctly.
yeah, we'll get into the reason exactly why Don Zhao is so upset, but we do know that he's got this grudge against Garp, and it's extended to like 3 generations. Yeah, we know exactly what the beef is, but this guy just seems to be kind of mad at everybody.
I do think that Oda does humanize the degree of his hatred, even if we don't have this specific nature of it, with the hovering before my eyes, just out of reach lies my treasure. The idea of something being so close to you, but just, I don't know. To me, that line hits a lot. And it makes me very curious about like just what it is that Don Chinjao was so mad at.
Yeah.
Because it could, like, up until that point, like, it could be nothing. But to me, but as soon as you get to that point, I'm like, no, this seems to me, it feels substantial.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he does start crying, so he's having a range of emotions. So he goes from anger to tears. So this is something that's kind of like deeply affected him.
Mhm.
He took it very personally.
Which I think is kind of interesting, right? Because like when we first met Don Chin, wasn't he like, didn't we like him at first because he backed up Luffy, like unknowing of who Luffy was at the time,
He was pleasant.
right? Weren't
Uh,
they like pleasant and like welcoming at first?
I feel like he kind of clocked Luffy pretty much immediately. I feel like he had his suspicions right away, and then before they even finished, I think it was Block A. I don't remember if it was Block A or B. He just kind of came up next to Luffy while he and Cavendish were looking out, and then he said something about like, "Oh, how's Garp doing?" And then Luffy's like, "Oh, yeah, my
Yeah,
grandpa's doing great." But
right.
yeah, I
I
don't
think
remember
I
him
think
necessarily being super pleasant.
I think I'm misremembering because wasn't
We
there like a
said-
scrap? I thought they broke up or something. Maybe not. It was a while ago that we read.
There were some people being like, "Hey, who's the shrimp in the armor in the stadium?" Blah blah. I don't personally remember Shinjao. I don't remember
Yeah, I
who
thought it was
broke it
that
up.
crew, but maybe
It
not.
could be it could be him. It could not be. But I guess I don't know. There's been an air of civility at the very least with him. I'd say maybe if not for perfectly pleasant, but I don't know. There's a
Yeah,
lot going on in Dressrosa. There's a lot going on right now.
yeah, you might be thinking of when Sai and Blue pulled Dan and Zhao off of Luffy when they were fighting because they're like, oh, let's save it for the ring.
That might be
Um,
it.
Maybe I don't know. Forget I said it. Forget I said
well, forget it like Dressrosa's forgotten.
it. Dang. Nice burn.
I don't know. I do feel like it's getting easy for things to be forgotten in Dressrosa. We're like what 2 volumes in, and I'm already like, what happened? What happened 2 weeks ago?
Dude, it's
How? Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not mad. There's
The
a
whirlwind.
lot going on. Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
For sure. Yeah, a lot of things to keep track of.
Yep.
So it looks like the Navy is taking advantage of the Coliseum battle. So there's already been this kind of like law established that the Navy isn't supposed to go in, but they've broken that by having Maynard infiltrate. And essentially they use this as an excuse. So they had somebody go in and collect information so they can collect on bounties when everybody comes out. So they even sent a vice admiral here, and they gathered all these forces around the Coliseum. So they're taking advantage of the situation that whether or not like this is like okay with like Doflamingo, but like they have like this role they're not supposed to be going in there, and they're not supposed to be doing this kind of thing. So for some reason they're deciding to take action in the situation. This feels like something unusual where they would go to this measure. So for some reason they find it's worth it to come in here and collect. Maybe because like the prize for the flame fruit just drew in such bigger names than usual. So they're like, "Oh, this is our perfect chance to take advantage of having everybody here. You know, normally we wouldn't do this, but because these names are here, let's capitalize on it."
I think that makes a lot of sense. Your take on it,
Yeah.
especially with like 2 years ago. It's like Jean Ango was saying last volume. All these level 6 prisoners are out. All these big names are out. The New World's an even crazier place than it was before, prompting this move from of headquarters from the end of Paradise to the start of the New World. Like, it makes sense that they be operating a little differently nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like it also draws attention to Doflamingo's power because it's like they're doing a stakeout, right? They're trying to pick off people one at a time as they come out of this place, but they're not storming the gates. Like they're not interfering with what Doflamingo's got going on. Like they're
Right.
sitting outside trying to pick up scraps, essentially. Not like they're not messing with them. It really
Yeah.
is like the Coliseum's like off limits, like legit off limits.
Yeah,
Good
it's like that gray area, but the only reason why like they're here is because they also were able to collect the data from having somebody go inside incognito. But they're like, oh,
Sure.
we're not technically breaking our agreement, but they're like really bending the rule as much as possible.
Yeah, they're finding the loopholes for sure.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, they're probably gonna be all weakened and defeated after all this intense fighting. So now we can just take them in easily. They're not gonna have that much fight left in them.
But to Evan's credit, like the fact that they're like, "Oh, we didn't break the agreement," still says a lot. It's still,
Yeah,
yeah.
and we've met Bastille before, correct?
He's definitely appeared before. I
I
don't
feel like I've
remember if it
seen him before.
was. It probably would have been either the Buster Call or Marineford. I don't remember exactly when we've
Yeah,
seen him.
I want to say Marineford.
I want to say Marineford.
Marineford's probably the more likely one.
Sick design.
Yeah, his design's really
Yeah,
cool.
it
Yeah,
is cool.
Shark Slicer Bastille.
Sweet hockey mask.
I'd watch the weird ass metal band he plays in.
Yeah, with Killer.
Yeah, yeah. Just Daft Punk with more
So-
distortion.
yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to come up with like a Daft Punk joke, but I had nothing.
Oh,
Pretty good.
Yeah, so they say here, but there should be hundreds of losers from blocks A and B already. Why wouldn't a single one of them have left yet? So there's something weird going on.
fishy.
Yeah, yeah. We can't really.
Everyone's dead. They all got killed in battle.
It's a battle to the death.
It is a battle to the death.
But moving on to another mystery, being solved here is what's the deal with these toys. So we learned that the toys were actually humans that have been turned into toys, and the people who knew the toy as a human now they seem to have forgotten that the person existed. So Evan, what do you make of this revelation?
So I think that the fact that toys were human was something I had in the back of my head in our last podcast. So I wasn't like shocked by the fact, but I do think it's an interesting reveal. And we didn't get a ton, but we pretty much got that these toys really were once human. And we also kind of get a drop that perhaps there was a certain someone who came to the island and is using their dreadful powers, as Oda put it, to make this transformation happen. Which, all right, crazy prediction. So, like, remember the cover story when Wapple had his whole thing about making toys?
Go
Yeah.
on.
What if Wapple's eating people and pooping out toys?
Ooh, this man is
Isn't that how it
cooking.
worked? Didn't Wapple like eat things and turn them into toys?
No, you're completely right. I'm only laughing because of the phrasing.
Yeah, I mean, like that's
No, you're
essentially what he's doing.
I'm not arguing with you. You are factually, you are correct. That is what happens with Waffle. I'm also trying not to like lean in any direction. This
I'm
was
pretty sure it
how
came
I'm
out.
theorizing.
I
But
think it came out
yeah,
just the mouth,
I'm
right?
like, yeah, I think he like ate it and then spit it back up,
Okay.
and it changed. Sorry, poor use of phrasing.
Don't be,
There,
don't,
but,
don't be. It was hilarious.
No.
That was really funny.
So yeah, I think that's where my mind immediately went when, as soon as they were like, because like I said, I feel like I'd kind of thought maybe these were people that have been turned into toys just because of the relationship they had with the other people in the city.
Mm.
But now that we get kind of some insight on their connection and this kind of like weird power structure that the Doflamingo or the Don Quixote like family has like set up, makes me think that obviously there's something else at play here. And the fact that they specifically referenced someone wielding powers makes me immediately think of Devil Fruit ability, which makes me think of Wapple, the toy maker. So like, I'm wondering if that's a possibility, or if someone just has
Interesting.
an ability to turn somebody into toys. We've seen somebody turn people into pieces of artwork, so like anything is possible.
Yeah. Interesting connection. Yeah, and that
Or
would bring the cover story back into play here.
Right? That would make the cover story relevant.
would not be the
And he's a
first time.
bad guy, so like he's capable of this heinous crime.
Is the evil drum kingdom part of the world government right now?
I don't know if that has come up, whether or not they are part of the world government.
Okay.
Last we saw them, they weren't meeting much resistance though.
Okay.
Seeming right, like as far as I remember, right? Like it seemed like he was rising to power unhindered or getting his way
Yeah.
without interference, seemingly.
Okay. Okay.
So I guess we'll have to find out.
We will.
Guess we'll find out.
Yeah. Something that occurred to me on this read is the fact that the Tin Soldier is talking to Frankie about this, of all people. And and I think, we joked a bit in the previous episodes about how Frankie blends in with the toys pretty well. But Frankie's line here is saying, well, I suppose there is a solemn boundary between artificial creations and biological humans, which leads into the question of what are toys. Just the fact that Frankie, who has transcended what it means to be a human, what it means to be a machine, is the one asking this. I don't know what Oda is trying to accomplish with that. I don't know if there is like an arc between Frankie and the toys and humanity, but it's something that I'm going to be keeping my eye on here throughout this read. It's something that just really, really shook me as I read this chapter.
Yeah, that is an interesting line. That's good to point out. Because yeah, like the phrasing that he used specifically was solemn boundary between artificial creations and biological humans. So like for Frankie, he's recognizing that there's probably a limit before somebody becomes an artificial creation and it's not being a human.
Yeah.
Which we've also seen happen with Kuma. So
Mm.
yeah, so
Mhm.
I think we've seen that boundary be crossed, and that's the result. So I think Frankie's like he has a conscious decision not to go to that point. So he knows like not to go past that line
Yeah.
because he doesn't want to lose his humanity. So he values that.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah.
Because Frankie's like on that spectrum. That's why it says there's a solemn boundary. Like he could have said just a boundary, but a solemn
Yeah.
boundary. So because like you said, he's seen Kuma, like he's seen both sides of the coin.
Yeah.
I'm
And
just
he's also
very
recognizing. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Go
no,
ahead.
no, no, it's you, it's you, it's you.
I'm going to give it to you.
Well, you're the host, so no.
Okay. And as a host, I'm going to give it to you.
Okay, you know, that's valid. You have that right. You have a solemn right as the host to give it to. No, I was just gonna say I wasn't thinking as much about how what he has seen previously has affected this mindset. I just want to see how this conflict leads him to further develop that.
Hmm.
If there is any
Totally.
more development to be had, but beyond, I just don't want to go to that certain point. That could be all it is, and this just could be a vehicle to exposit on the toys. But I don't know. It feels like there's something there, and I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Cool.
Totally.
Yeah, I was just going to add to that a little bit too, because he's recognizing that in order for these toys to act this way, to have this free will, he's recognizing that in its own right, and like everybody can think and talk, that it would take a genius on the level of Vegapunk to create something like that. And he's approaching this as like, what is actually happening to make these toys act this way? Like, what is this a technology? Like, how is this? He wants to know like the reason, like as somebody who is interested in like creating and inventions and technology and weapons. This is something that's like that appeals to him, and he wants to know how these things work. So the answer he's getting is probably a lot more sad than he was hoping for, but this is the reality of what's happening in this country.
Interesting. And in this explanation, the Tin Soldier says someone wielding dreadful powers, not necessarily devil fruit powers, just somebody wielding great power.
Hmm.
So I wonder if that's an important distinction. Because again, like I said before, my mind went to devil fruit, but like you were saying, like Vegapunk is also somebody who's capable, or Caesar, or all, like people who are just capable of dreadful powers unrelated to
Hmm.
potentially devil fruits. Although we don't know if I don't know if Vegapunk has a devil fruit or not.
That's true. We don't know that.
Yeah.
Caesar does, but it's more his like science mind that makes him a threat than his gas ability.
Yeah, that doesn't really tie into his ability to act as a scientist, unless you count like experimenting with like poison and gas and stuff.
Thematic flair.
Yeah, so I mean, this whole thing is a tragedy. So on the surface, everything looks great, fun, and happy, but it's because half the people don't realize what happened, and the other half are powerless to do anything to stop what happened. So they lost pretty much everything. They lost their humanity. They lost their families in the way that they were before. They lost their lives. So they were essentially robbed of the existence that they had, and were forced into this other existence that we consume wasn't by choice. The humans are kind of blissfully unaware that anything was wrong, but the toys have to live with the knowledge that the life as they knew it is now gone. So to kind of have like a little bit of piece of what life they had before, like we see like Milo here still with his family, but they don't realize the relationship to what Milo is to them and who they lost.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like
So
a
was the line like when we first were introduced to Dressrosa was like the land of passion and tragedy or something? But yeah, I would say this falls under tragedy.
yeah.
Is
Fully.
anyone else just thinking about what it would be like if the other two homies on the podcast just forgot about them? Or your work, or like, but it's just like, damn, that really is like, that's just such a tragic experience. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you became
Can't
the
believe.
microphone, so you would be there for every podcast, listening in and like having opinions and like wanting to talk to us, but you couldn't. You just have to sit
Oh
there.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who was my microphone?
Man, no one crashed out over Spandam. That's, oh well, not that big a deal.
Yeah, that's why I have to leave my microphone outside every night. I can't leave it inside the house.
Oh God. Oh no. Wandering Culver City. Oh no.
Yeah, and then we pretty much ended the chapter here with catching up on Usoland and Roboland with the Tontatas. So they're playing this like assault on Doflamingo's army, and Leo explains that their princess was also one of the Tontadas that was stolen. And what the Tontadas are trying to fight for is getting their people back because some of the people were taken and they're being forced to work in the factory. So they want to save their people who are, being forced into labor, which is also another tragedy happening here.
Does anyone else find it really cute that Leo lives with his grandma? And he's literally sewing her to the bookshelf just so that she doesn't get blown to smithereens by Usoland's hockey.
All the Tontana are so Tonada are so adorable.
I love them. I love them.
Yeah, like the grandma's face when she like sewn to the bookshelf, and Leo's like, "I did a good job." He's like kind of amazed about Usoland.
Yeah, Dressrosa is turning out to be more than meets the eye. It definitely feels like a tale of two cities where there's like two sides to every coin, very literally. Like there's all these dichotomies and like kind of this facade that's being put up
Yeah,
on multiple fronts.
yeah, it's like we have like the surface and like the face of Dressrosa and what they want to present, and then it's kind of like they sweep things under the rug that they don't want people to know about.
Yep.
Yeah, and then we also learn that the factory itself is under the Coliseum.
Mm-hmm. Two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, so it's starting
I
to
see
feel
our
like
paths converging.
yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, it's starting to feel like a lot of these different plot points we've had are starting to meld together.
Yeah, they're all culminating in a
Yeah,
singular location.
yeah. So you guys got anything else on this one?
I'm good.
Okay, next part of the cover story: Caribou's New World, Kihihi, Volume 35, A Battleship at the Shore. Scotch sees a naval ship has arrived and holds up the old woman.
Granny, no. Not Granny.
We have another silly exclamation point.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, Jack Skellington exclamation point.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah, so he's like, "Don't fire on me because I got Granny. Like I have a
Yeah.
hostage."
Human shield.
All right, well, we'll have to see if that works next time. For now, moving on to the chapter. Chapter 718, Riku Army at the Flower Field. Leo explains that there is an underground passage from Greenbit to Dressrosa. They have bugs and foxes available so they can all be transported over quickly. As they travel, Ganjo appears and tells Usoland and Raboland that their feud with the Don Quixote family actually started 9 centuries ago. The soldier led Frankie to the flower field and brought him to the secret hideout of the Riku Royal Army, soldiers comprised of Tontadas. Here, they find Zoro watching Luffy's battle on the screen. The Tontada report to the toy soldier, their captain, that they know where Sugar and the enemy will be, and that they will have the help of the legendary heroes to help them in the upcoming battle. Zoro suddenly remembers he has to get back to the Sunny to help his friends. As the crew on the Sunny struggles to deal with Gila's art fruit powers, Laura urgently calls them, demanding them to bring the Sunny to Greenbit to pick up Caesar immediately. Doflamingo tells Law he purposefully used the flame fruit to bait Luffy into battling to separate him from Law, and he's never leaving that Coliseum. The crowd is engaged as Luffy launches a powerful blow to Chinjao.
So when are we getting the Tontada spin-off series? I love these little guys. The little airline, adorable.
That's the fact that something like that is just used for like a 2-page color spread or a 2-page spread is insane to me.
Yeah. So
Like
good.
Oda was really cooking with these guys. He's like, this is the time I have for them, so we're just gonna go all out.
Yeah. I
This is
love these
cute.
little people and their alliance with the bugs and the fox, and like it was in this scene that I realized like the Tontada like kind of remind me of bugs themselves because their tails are like so they're almost like little abdomen or like
Hmm.
but yeah, they almost are like bug like themselves because they're like tiny and they have these like huge tails. But
Well,
seeing
two of
them
them
like
literally are bugs.
and two of them literally are bugs, yeah. I want a spin-off series. I want to ride one of these foxes. They're so cool. And the tail is like a cushion, like brilliant.
Yeah, like, just like this little concept of like the airline. This could be like the only airline in the One Piece universe because I don't imagine there's any other planes flying around. I mean, we haven't seen any yet, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say there probably aren't any other airplanes in the One Piece universe. So just the concept of an airline is, I think, probably unique to the Tontadas.
Incredible. Yeah, this scene is so fun. I also love Usopp's connection with the Bucks. He's like, oh, I haven't seen a beetle like you before. We know
Yeah,
Usopp's connection with beetles and bugs.
he does like his bugs.
Yeah, he knows his bugs. Yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes. Like, I can't get enough of these little guys. They're so fun. I also love their reaction when they see Frankie is like, who built like the boss battle toy?
This toy is awesome.
This toy is so sweet. The new model. Wow.
I love Frankie's reaction to them just as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it seems like they might have like this Ant-Man kind of thing going on here where they have like the same strength equal to like a regular person.
Mm.
Yep. It does seem that way.
Before we move on to like the flower field scene, I just wanted to also backtrack to Gancho. Just make this comment here. I don't really know exactly what this means, but he's saying that their conflict with the Doflamingo, the Don Quixote Doflamingo family, dates back to 9 centuries ago.
Hmm.
Hmm.
A specific time frame.
Yeah, that is specific, huh?
Yeah.
And Robin's the one hearing about this. So I think Robin would be very curious to know more about this. I believe this would probably date back to before the Void Century.
Feels like it.
Yeah.
The Void Century would have been 800 years ago, right?
Yeah. Something pertinent is up here.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that just because I don't know exactly how it's going to be significant, but it feels like there's going to be more to it.
Right.
I just wanted
Yeah, there's
to
got to
mention
be
that.
more to that.
Yeah. We do learn that the toy soldier is actually working directly with the Tontada, and they call him the captain. So this like also a nice little development here. We also catch up with Zoro.
Yeah, his presence here
Gosh.
and the way he is introduced here is just one of the funniest things that I've seen in the story in a while. Just fully, hey, down in front, get out of the way. So good. He's such a meathead. Amazing.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's
Why
what
didn't he
I
invite me to
missed about
join?
Huh?
No, I was saying he was like, why didn't Luffy invite me to join him? He was like
Yeah.
mad that Luffy didn't give him an invite.
Yeah. The Goofy's having all the fun.
Yeah. It's honestly, and like, I appreciate a lot of Zoro's direction post Thriller Bark, but like this is just like the little aspect I've missed seeing from him since then. Just seeing him and Luffy be two halves of one brain cell, love it. I will
Love it.
never get tired of it. And it's
Yep.
good to have like a little bit. And he gets back on track. He realizes, oh shit, I've got to find them. But like, just that little bit of that means so much to me. A plus. A plus.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he got so invested in this fight. He also recognizes that this is Luffy, even though Luffy's in disguise.
Yeah.
So I think Sanji also recognized Luffy too. Like everybody knows it's Luffy, except for the people who are like actually in the Coliseum. Well, most of them, but some people figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Zoro just kind of gets carried away watching his friend fight. He's like, Luffy, what are you doing? Like, stop getting like messed around and get serious here. That's kind of been like his role, I think, during the time skip to like tell Luffy to like get his act together. We also get a name drop. The Tontadas say that we know exactly where the enemy and Sugar are going, and believe it or not, just in time for our grand battle.
Sugar.
Yeah, so we get this person named Sugar. Unless they're talking about literal sugar, maybe sugar is important to the plan. They maybe need to use it for some reason. But to me, it sounds like it's probably a person.
It could be like
Mm.
the chemical inverse of sad.
Oh.
It could be
Maybe.
someone who loves sugar.
Maybe.
Because we do know somebody who loves sugar, right? Big Mom?
Ooh,
That'd
not,
be a fitting
not
name.
gonna say anything.
I'm sending a quick text.
I must be way off.
Yep, that's what I'm telling Joel right now.
Yeah, so then we also get the information that Usopp Land also had other allies. So Usopp kind of covered his bases and said that his friends are also legendary heroes. So they're also kind of like being roped into the Tontada conflict here. He gave the names Luffy Land, Zoro Land, Nami Land, San Land, Chop Land, Fry Land, and Bow Land. And then they put together, oh, that must be Usopp. And Zoro's like, yeah, I think I'm Zoro Land.
Yeah. So good.
Like, they're even like, they're not like, oh, you don't know your own name? Like, like, oh yeah,
Oh,
we're
oh,
convinced.
hilarious.
Yeah, and what do you guys think of this battle on the Sunny, where everything is getting very avant-garde?
Very avant-garde.
Dali was the one
We're
reference
having
I
a
got.
renaissance. Hmm?
I said Dali with the clock is the one reference I got. Otherwise,
Oh, the
I'm like,
melting clock.
yeah.
Yeah, the Dali clock. Let's go. I will say the casting, we get like this cool hand gesture with some eye art, Picasso-esque style eyeballs.
Hmm.
So cool. Such a cool little detail.
Yeah, we do get the name of the devil fruit here, so it's confirmed to be the art fruit,
Checks out.
which makes me feel like I'm like barking, like arf arf.
You a seal?
In this moment, I'm wondering, and this is incredibly pedantic. One, what's the definition of art under the terms of her devil fruit? Because we don't have enough people asking what is art already. And two, with like the real world artistic references that are being made with this fruit, how do those fit within the One Piece world? Did Jola just like figure out? Did she invent these schools of artistic expression herself? Or are there like analogs to all these different artists in the One Piece world, and Joel is just tuned into them the way like an eclectic art collector, art historian would be? You know, I don't know, and it doesn't matter. But I feel like, I'm like, oh hey, that's just a fun little. Damn it, Oda. This is
Right?
yeah.
It's just cubism and expressionism. That's it.
Okay. I wasn't. I look. I see
I
the
don't know.
clock.
I'm
Like, that's
making
probably. So I'm like, I'm not sure like how specific they are to individual artists or just like a movement in itself. So thank you for clarifying.
No, I mean, I don't know a lot, but I would say like Picasso definitely seems to be one of the main influences in the style. But I'm not an expert.
Art history experts, help me understand this. 'Cause I'm very confused.
We know our art history and our bug anatomy, and that's it.
We're scholars in every field. Come on. Is there anything we don't know? The comments are just gonna be an endless list of everything we've gotten wrong.
Yeah, right.
Here for it.
With
I'm here to
timestamps.
learn.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here to be educated. So if I'm wrong on anything, I'd like to know.
great. Yeah, things are going from bad to worse.
Yeah, things were going bad enough. Laws also like demanding them to help. So
Right.
they already cannot control the situation that they're in. They're already in trouble themselves. And Law's like, I don't care what kind of trouble you're in. I'm in bigger trouble. I need you to come here right now. And just like hangs up on them. Like, no, we need help.
Yeah, for real.
You know I love
Sir.
law, but what a little shit.
He's not wrong though. He is so low.
Oh, he's definitely got a lot to deal with right now.
But maybe he's putting his faith in Luffy's crew. He's like, I know you guys can make it happen.
I
Yeah.
wonder. I just had a thought. Like, I wonder what would happen if Chopper were to change forms while being affected by the art.
Ooh.
What would
Oh,
happen?
interesting.
Hmm.
Or can he even do that?
Can he? Right? Can he even do it? Because it does seem like she's rendering everybody like useless. So maybe they wouldn't be able to use their abilities normally.
Yeah, wasn't Brooks saying he can't use Soul Solid the way he normally would?
Yep. And Nabi struggling to do anything without her baton. Chopper's got rabbits for hands, which is pretty cute.
Yes, I mean, I think the weapons being affected could also be a factor there.
Yeah. Maybe we'll find out.
And then we kind of end here. While still in a tough spot, and Luffy's also continuing his fight with Dan Zhao. So things are still underway.
Moving right along. Hawk rifle's new, I think. Like an
Um,
armament rifle. Or is it not new?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know if that's come up before actually.
It seems to be like an armament gum rifle.
Maybe like a twist to it or something.
Yeah.
All right, you guys got anything else on this one?
No, I wish we got more of the Law Dofi fight, but hopefully we get more later.
All right, well we'll see. Let's get to the next part of the cover story. Caribou's New World, Kihihi, Volume 36. Captain Gabru arrives alive and on the scene. Caribou arrives in Gabru's attire, posing as him, along with his crew.
Better save that nice old lady. You better.
I swear to God, Caribou.
I swear to God.
I swear to God.
So is Caribou doing something almost noble?
Never.
Is it is this redemption arc that we've all been waiting for and hoping for?
Bleh.
Yeah, Evan, I'm pretty sure you've been asking for Caribou to have a redemption story, right? You've been on board with that?
Yeah, I've wanted it from the start. I've spoken my support of it from the get-go. I'm so happy.
Well, let's not jump the gun yet. We don't know how this is going to play out. So
True.
you might get your wish. This might be
Yeah.
just another scheme here. Maybe he's just trying to inherit Granny's fortune or something. He's like, oh yeah, I'm Gabru.
Wouldn't put it past them.
All right, let's get to the chapter. Chapter 719, Open Chenjiao. Dan Chenjiao is not impressed with the current generation of pirates. The only one he sees as having potential is Blackbeard. He remarks that Rayleigh is a fool for wasting his time training Luffy, who has no shot of surpassing Roger. 30 years ago, Dan Chenjiao had hidden his treasure amassed over the course of his life on a continent of ice. Though the treasure was visible from the surface, to access it would require the power of precision of the legs that only Dan Chenjiao could unleash with its pointy head. Garp confronted the pirate. During the battle, Garp used a powerful punch, smashing his pointy head inward. Upon regaining consciousness, Chenjiao was horrified to learn that the pointy head they had such pride in was no more. Worst of all, he was no longer able to access the treasure that he had spent his life accumulating. He cursed Garp's name and 3 generations of his family. He had lost his will to be a pirate any longer. Back to his fight with Luffy, they each launched a final attack, but Luffy's Gum Gum Elephant Gun was too much for him to handle, which knocked the point of his head back out, knocking the man out. As Lucy is declared the winner, Cavendish prepares to attack Straw Hat, tipping Burgess off that Luffy is Lucy.
This is so good. This chapter's so good. I love this, how this all plays out. I love the themes that Oda's playing with here too, with like, I don't know how to put it, but I feel like even here when Luffy knocks him out, he ends up helping him because he ends up giving him back what he lost and what his entire grudge had been based on. And he almost like, I don't know exactly how to articulate it, but I feel like it fits so well with Luffy's character because as we've seen, he like makes allies wherever he goes and he's constantly opening doors. Like Luffy's never shutting doors. And I feel like this person has shut a lot of doors in their pursuit of revenge and has been blinded by being wronged all these many years ago. And it's just like such a poetic like finish to this like face off, I think. Like him knocking him out, but also redeeming him and undoing Garp's damage, like in a way, which is like wild. I think that's just like, I think Oda, like this whole chapter, I think was just written so beautifully. I love the idea of like the treasure being just below the surface and like him being the only one able to open it up. And like earlier on, Chinjiao was like saying that same thing about Luffy being like this object that's right in front of him that he can't quite grasp and can't quite like extract his revenge. He can't quite like get the treasure beyond it's like there's a wall that's holding him back, and like that wall is his revenge and his approach to things. And I think like it's just the perfect foil to Luffy, who's the opposite, who's always opening doors and always making connections and helping people and growing powerful in that from those interactions.
Good points.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love this for a lot of the same reasons. One, seeing Xinjiao unable to open the sheet of ice that had his entire nation's treasure, absolutely heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And we were talking about 2 chapters ago, just the image of like, it's just that feeling of like this thing that I need or have worked so hard for is so close to me, and there's something that's just so stupid, but just so unfair, like, or just the fact that it's something that was it was so simple for me to get to this. I know that I, at my best, in just the state of who I am able to attain this thing, and right now I just can't.
Yep.
Heartbreaking. Um,
Heartbreaking.
yeah. But what Luffy does here is, like you said, he erases the damage, the physical damage that Garp did to Chinjiao to take that ability away from him. Which it's not Luffy's job to do this. Luffy did
Right.
not do this to Chinjiao. Yeah, he's related to Garp, but like as like One Piece has had as a thesis for many different conflicts, this the son is not responsible for the sins of the father, blah blah blah. But then we see in arcs like Skypia, like Fishman Island, yeah, the descendant is not responsible for what happened due to the ancestor, but there is still an impact that can echo throughout the generations. Granted, this is a much smaller scale version of that with Don Shinjao, but Luffy still said Luffy wasn't even. And the thing is, Luffy wasn't even trying to help Shinjao. He was just trying to win the fight. Really, he doesn't
Yeah.
give a shit about any of this. Which
Right.
again, as I've mentioned before, is what I love about Luffy and what I think truly makes Luffy a good person. But Luffy has undone an intergenerational conflict. That's just essentially what
Yeah.
Luffy has done here. And that's essentially, I think, a big part of what we talked about with Fishman Island, about what he did with, ringing the bell in Shandora. And just seeing that distilled into this one very small, very, very personal vendetta is so sick. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Even if it's
It's
like
like
even if this doesn't
he's
have to
so
do with
like
anything
pure.
ever, it's so fundamentally One Piece. And it was just like manifesting that in just every little thing. It's great. It's great. Sorry, that's all I have.
I think that's such a great point, though, and I think it's like Luffy's like innocence and his lack of like selfish desire. I mean, it's just like it's a but at its core, it is a selfish desire because he wants this goal for himself, but he's not willing to step over people to get there. Like he's he's growing as a character and growing with the people around him and bringing them on this journey. It's like a journey instead of like a goal or like a end game. It's more about like getting there. And so he brings these people with him and he builds the people up as he goes. And he goes into these cities, as we've seen in so many arcs now, and completely changes them for the better. Like just like goes in with no intention of saving a city and just completely flips it on his head and walks out of there being like, all right, now I just keep on doing what I've been doing, like nothing's changes, like nothing happened.
Yeah.
Such a cool character to base an entire series around. I love
Yeah, I
it.
think Luffy's attitude is very well stated here when Don Chijiao says, "One strike from your grandpa's fist stole everything from me, and now you must pay." Luffy says, "One punch, who cares? He's punched me countless times." So, like,
You don't give a shit, man.
yeah. So
Get
he's kind of
over
like,
it. Fuck
so kind
you.
of after hearing the sob story, he's kind of like, "Dude, whatever, just get over it." And then then he just like does the punch. So like Luffy had no intention of helping this guy out. This is just a pure accident, but in like the best way. Because like you
Mhm.
said, he, like, inadvertently undid the generational damage that was done to like, what was he was wrong before, but Luffy accidentally found the solution and fixed his problem. Now that he has his head again, he does have access to his treasure. That was what he lost. That was his whole thing. He had spent his whole life trying to get this treasure, and like you said, it is super poetic that he could see it, but he can't touch it. And then, like, after all this, like, he lost his pointy head, and he got his pointy head back by Luffy. So yeah, he kind of like undoes the grudge that he had against Garp. At the end of the day, again, it was just an accident, but I think that's what makes this so great as well, because Luffy wasn't trying to go in and fix this guy's problem. Sometimes he just does it, but but he doesn't
Yeah.
mean to.
Incredible. So Luffy.
I think Joel, the way you put it, like Luffy he wasn't trying to. It makes me think of the fact that like Don Chinjiao can still be like, cool, thank you. Your grandson's still a fucking asshole, and I'm gonna beat his ass when I see him again. But that's just between the two of them, and that's okay. They
Yeah.
can still have that. But overall, the impact of it, like now it's just them. That's and just this bullhead. Oh God, Luffy. It's just
Yeah.
it's perfect. It's perfect.
I do love though that this is like the punch that knocks him out, and then the way he falls like point first, and he just shatters the
Yep.
stadium.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah, it's so perfect. It's so perfect.
A straight line.
Just the crowd's like, what?
Not to backtrack, but like to continue our conversation from earlier, saying like this is when Zhao kind of throws shade at Ace, and I think Rayleigh maybe through association with Goldie. And this moment when Zhao mentions Ace, and like that was it. I feel like that was it for Luffy. Like as soon as he heard him slander Ace, like he just went off. And there's even a like ka-ching. Like I feel like the sound effect ka-ching for me is like this him snapping at hearing Ace mentioned,
Hmm.
slandered.
Yeah.
Like ka-ching is like that's all I needed to hear. Like good night. Like
Wrong thing to say.
that was the wrong thing to say.
Yeah, because I mean, Don Chinjiao is like actively dismissing Luffy's entire generation, like including Luffy, except for Blackbeard. He's like, oh, he's the only one that actually has potential out of you guys. The rest of you are worthless. I really like, wasted his time. Like you're unremarkable. And then like he's like, oh yeah, stamping out Ace in his demon blood was a master stroke. So he was like all for that. So yeah, he thinks very negatively about a lot of these people. And he's not afraid to. He kind of seems to like have this like superiority complex where he thinks to be better than a lot of these people. But yeah, I think Luffy kind of proves him wrong here, puts him in his place.
Yeah.
And one thing I wanted to ask you guys: do you think the phrase "Open Chinjiao" is just kind of like a reference to Open Sesame?
Yes, I 100% thought that when I was reading
Yes.
this. Totally.
Okay.
That's all I can think of. Unless I'm missing a pun. That's all I can think of.
Yeah, splitting the ice. Yeah, that was definitely Open Sesame for sure.
So I want to know, like, how does the ice get sealed back up again? So after he opens it.
Good question.
Close Chinjiao. I don't know, something like that. He just douses his head in water and then just that freezes back in. His head becomes a fire hose. That's how. We can run the SBS. It's our job. Oda, take a break. You're good. You're good.
Aokiji, I have an odd request.
You can take a little treasure, just not too much. Just keep this place secret. Yeah, but I mean, there must be some way that they're able to, reseal the ice, so that way
Sure.
other people won't just come in and take in the treasure, and why he couldn't get the treasure, and why he specifically needs his pointy head. This is the only thing I'm not really sure about because it's not really addressed as to how he like opens and closes. Well, we know how he opens, but we don't know like how he closes the ice over and over again, though.
I'm sure Oda has like
Maybe
a
it just
whole notebook.
refreezes.
Could be.
Mm.
Yeah, maybe it's just like so cold that it just refreezes pretty quickly. It's like the whole content is like a crystal ice sheet.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Oda like had a very, very detailed answer to this question that he just wasn't able to fit in for time.
Could be.
There's a diagram somewhere.
Yeah. Or maybe we're gonna go there in 500 chapters.
Hey.
Oh.
Maybe this is the question he wants us to ask right now.
But yeah, Luffy is the winner of Block C. So we got a third winner.
That's our boy. One more block.
Mm-hmm.
And Burgess is definitely on to something.
Yeah.
Can't be good.
Can't be good. Well, it's interesting here at the end. We kind of see there's a bunch of interested parties: Cavendish, Bartolomeo, Bellamy, Burgess. A lot of bees.
Yeah. Huh.
Maybe they should have been Block B.
There's the joke.
Well,
Nice.
well, two of them were, right?
Like, how do I make an alliteration joke? Block B, perfect.
All right. Well, you guys good to move on? Do you have any final thoughts?
Real quick, the SBS here. We see all the supernovas gender swapped, and
Yeah.
I don't know. Some of the
this is awesome.
captions, I'm like, okay, Oda, whatever. What do you guys think of Bonnie? Bonnie's gender swap here.
Looks like Shanks.
Okay, I'm glad it's not just me because I showed it to another friend. I was like, this looks like Shanks to me. He's like, I guess. I'm like, that's just dead ringer Shanks to me. I don't know. It's just weird. I just want to see if I was crazy or not.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say he looks like Shanks.
Okay.
I can see it.
Yeah, this is fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
That's
For
cool
sure.
when Oda does this stuff.
Okay, let's move on to the next part of the cover story. Caribou's New World, Kihihi, Volume 37, Liberate the Proletariat, Liberate the Old Hag. Caribou and his crew attack Scotch.
Caribou, when did you learn to turn into a puddle of mud? Granny's never seen that before. That's for sure.
Yeah, right. It's like, oh no, I have to watch my grandson die again.
Jeez.
It's like
You
almost
get a cool silhouette here of like a metal castle looking thing.
That is pretty cool.
Because we haven't gotten a lot on this island. Like, other than everything's made out of metal, that's
Yeah.
kind of it. That's kind of all we've gotten so far. Some weird looking mountains. But this is a landmark, looks like.
It could be the factory. The weapons factory.
Yeah, probably. That would check out.
But yeah, I mean, it looks like they're actually helping the worker army.
Looks like it.
So, pretty cool.
He seems to be taking on the Gabaru role.
Okay, let's get into the chapter. This one's going to be a little lengthy, but I'll see what I can do. Chapter 720, Prisoner-Gladiators. With 3 winners now determined, there is 1 round left to decide the final combatant. They need a short break to put into place a new arena, since the last one was destroyed during the battle. Cavendish attacks Luffy. Bartolomeo starts making his way to stop Cavendish, but is distracted by people nearby bad-mouthing Luffy. He grabs the man's tongue and tells him Luffy is the future king of the pirates. He tells the man he was there at Logtown 2 years ago, when Luffy declared he would be the king of the pirates, as a bolt of lightning struck, freeing him. He dedicated himself to following Luffy's exploits, which convinced him to give up the life of being a mob boss to taking to the seas, becoming a pirate himself. As punishment for what he said, Bartolomeo cuts a man's tongue off. After dealing with the man, Bartolomeo watches Luffy fight Cavendish and becomes too starstruck to get closer. Danjin, Zhao, Sai, and Blue approach and want to express their gratitude for fixing his head, but Luffy mistakes this as an attack as Shinjao bows with his large cone head, destroying the ground. He had intended to pledge the Hapasui army under his command, but never had the chance. As Luffy runs away, Rebecca pulls him aside to hide, but he notices Burgess, who tells him to wait. He's on a transponder snell call with his captain, who wants to speak to him. Blackbeard tells Luffy that Burgess will be winning the Flame fruit so he can have it. He taunts Luffy, telling him that he'll have his own ace since the original turned him down. Luffy tells him that won't happen and continues on. Rebecca leads him down to the cells that the guest fighters never come to. She empties her purse to buy him some food to eat. Turns out this was a trap, as some of the prisoners in the cells grab Luffy, giving Rebecca an opening to kill him. Luffy manages to get free, dodging the killing blow. She accepts retribution for trying to kill him, but he says she didn't, and she gave him food, so no harm done. The prisoners are all people who tried to take on Doflamingo, but were left alive to continually fight until they die as punishment. Rebecca was planning to use the power of the Flame fruit to defeat Doflamingo, so they're trying to quickly take out one more fighter. She is aware that the toy soldier is planning to lead an attack on Doflamingo's army today, but she's tired of being saved and wants to be the one to protect him.
Oh, so much going on.
This one's a lot.
Yeah. Can we start with Bartolomeo?
Please.
Being a total fanboy. I did not see that coming. Did not see that coming. Love it. Absolutely love it. So good.
In a series as lore heavy and like with the best foreshadowing, this remains one of the best twists in all of One Piece for me.
Yes. So
So
good.
I love
so
Because like
good.
up till now, I'm like, I really like Bartolomeo. I wish I didn't hate him. And now I'm like, oh, I love this guy.
But then I'm also like, oh, you were a mob boss. You did some really bad shit.
Yes.
Also really like you. And
Yeah.
I don't like that I like you, but like I can't lie. I can't
Exactly.
lie.
Exactly. His power's incredible too. I feel like him using the barrier to like squish this dude is like terrifying. Such a strong ability. Such a strong ability. But yeah, that took me for a loop, a good loop. I was like,
Yeah.
heck yeah, I'm here for this. I'm here for this.
This is like the one thing I was most excited to see you get to experience.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So good. Oh yeah. I was like, hell yeah, I love this guy.
Yeah, this is also one of my favorite reveals, and Barto's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
Just because, like, yeah,
Barto.
he's because like the way he's presented, he's like, a total scumbag, and he is a total scumbag, but he's a lovable total scumbag. Um,
Yes.
and this like aside from that we did
Well
not
said.
expect to see because it feels like so out of character that he's like totally fanboying over Luffy like this. Like he's like
Yep.
too like nervous like to talk, and like people are bad mouthing Luffy, so he wants to like punish them. He goes a little too far here. This is like very gruesome. Again, he's not a good guy, but he's kind of got this like misguided like sense of like protection for Luffy because he just cares
Yeah.
about him so much now. But yeah, this is just such a great turn for this character, and I love him for this. This is such a great turn.
Agreed.
It's so
It's
fun.
so good. This whole scene, this whole chapter, solid.
It's also like Barto is like he's not just a so yes, like he's like oh I love Luffy, but it's also like man, what would like a One Piece fan look like in this world? You you don't like One Piece? You said some shit about Ichiro Oda. I'm gonna rip your fucking tongue out. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's the best. Luffy's gonna be king of the pirates. Like I've been that guy. I'll admit it. I've chilled out a lot,
Good.
but like I've been that, and that's
How
that's
dare
why
you, bad math Goda?
Yeah, I'll take a piss off this roof if you don't stop talking shit about One Piece. I love Barto. He's still such a troll. He's
He's such
still
a troll.
slimy, but like
Yeah.
it's just such. It's so well balanced. So good.
Yep.
So good. I love Barto.
And I think it's kind of cute, like how he's like he's trying to defend Luffy. He was like, "Curse that round cabbage! I wish I could just kill him and protect my hero." And then he's like, "Hey, you, cavity!"
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh man, I'm stammering." Like he's like, he's like this would be me, like not getting my words out right. I can't even like talk normally, but
Oh my
he's
god.
like, he's like so nervous he can't get the words
I don't know how
out.
to break the ice. Like, what do I say? It's Luffy. Like, what do I say? I don't know. I don't know. What do I say to him?
So good. It just paints him in such a funny light before because he seemed like such a like cocky, overconfident person who knew how to handle himself. Like, and then it's funny to see him flipped and being like gushing over Luffy and like not knowing how to handle himself. I think it's really funny. Also, I thought an interesting part about this whole debacle is the what triggered it when he said he heard another gladiator saying that like Luffy failed to save his brother at the Paramount War, which is like I feel like not the first time we've heard this, and I wonder like I feel like Oda's kind of alluding to the fact that maybe this is like an opinion of like people like pirates out there because now like Luffy's becoming like a more well-known person, and I feel like this isn't the first time we've heard that, and so I'm wondering if it's maybe like not even a rumor, but just like an opinion of people in the new world of like Luffy failed to like save his brother, and that's like a something they're associating with Luffy.
I'd say that's
Yeah.
strengthened by the point you made last chapter of Shinjao bringing up the fact that like he didn't directly say it, but he was implying like, hey, they killed Ace. Seems like it worked out. So I think
I know.
Yeah.
I feel like both mentions of it makes me think that maybe that is like a more common opinion than we might think.
It's a really good point. Yeah.
And there could be like a public perception too of like Luffy again. He failed to save his brother, and then
In front of the whole world.
and then disappeared for 2 years. So maybe people thought like, okay, wow, he like, he's just done, and like he couldn't deal with
Right.
it. So yeah, that might have given people like a false impression of Luffy of being like incapable.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
I feel like
that
that
could
checks out
that could be yeah, that could be an opinion that people just had because of things like that.
because it was publicized too. Like, and people
Yeah.
saw that happen. That was very public knowledge. And then, yeah, like you said, he disappeared for 2 years, so people are gonna come to their own conclusions, and people are saying that Luffy failed Ace.
Was it for lack of trying?
Wasn't for lack of trying, that's for sure.
I think also, especially like Luffy wasn't there for this instance where the person's saying near Barto, but like in the Trinja fight, like it's got to also be like it's got to hurt even more. And I know Luffy's only so hurt by the things people say, but I guess it's got to be that much more enraging when he hears that in a battle for Ace's fruit.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
gonna say that. Like, it's so
Yeah.
relevant right now. It's so relevant.
And I'm sure Luffy's holding on to some of that as well. Like, I still think there's like a part of him that wishes he could have done more. So it
Totally.
could also be like,
Valid.
yeah, I kind of like agree. Like I should have been stronger. But that's also part of the reason why he did the training was because he wanted to get stronger, so he doesn't fail to protect the people that he cares about going forward.
Yep.
Also came up in the Chinja fight. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's yeah. Oh, I'm gonna be reading the rest of this with a entirely new filter. I'm wow.
And then, so would you get like the connection of like why Barto is so enamored with Luffy? As like he was there at Logtown, so he basically had like a Roger moment with Luffy.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yep.
and slight spoilers for the live action series coming up. I believe they actually casted somebody for Barto.
Yeah, they I think they did like the Cavendish as well because they did like wanted posters in season 1. So yeah, good on them. Good on them.
But yeah, this is like a detail. So this is like something cool that they can kind of like keep in mind going forward, like a little Easter egg there.
Oh,
So
for yeah, for next yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
going into we're going to be going to Logtown in the live action series next season, so they can start to plant like these little seeds that only like future readers would have known about because like this wasn't something that was in the text during the original Logtown arc, but yeah, they could put that little detail in because they know about it at this point.
I really hope that just like the framing and pacing of that like completely mirrors like what they added to episode 1 with like Shanks and Mihawk and yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that'd be sick. That'd be really really cool.
Yeah, I just hope
Sidebar,
it's very like a small thing. I hope it's not like overstated, so it doesn't like reveal too much for, like the future.
No, but
But yeah,
just like a quick like oh hey like
Easter
it
egg.
yeah,
yeah yeah
but I
but just
think
like
that yeah,
the parallel too yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
we get the scene where Chinjiao does want to express gratitude for Luffy. So he's not mad that Luffy beat him. He's happy that Luffy fixed his head.
Which hey, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Let's have more of that. That'd be great.
yeah. He just doesn't go about in the most graceful way, and Luffy thinks it's an attack, which is hilarious. And then Barto again's like, "Whoa, he passed right by me. Wait, like, what should I do? I want to talk to him, but how do I break the ice?"
And then he goes to bow in respect and accidentally splits the like world in half. He's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot I have
Yeah.
an extra foot and a half on my head now."
Yeah, and in order to return the favor, he actually wants to pledge his army to Luffy.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty good thing.
That'd be a pretty good ally to have on your side.
Pretty strong, yeah.
But Luffy doesn't know that, so Luffy just runs away. And what do you guys think of this exchange with Blackbeard?
When he said "I'll see to that," it sounded so mature for Luffy. Like, I feel like Luffy sounded so mature in that moment. You're
And
never gonna
confident.
get your hand on Ace's power. I'll see to that.
Hmm.
But yeah, what a tense moment. We haven't really heard from Blackbeard in like it feels like forever.
Yeah, since he became an emperor.
Yeah. Again, bringing up Ace, Luffy did not respond well.
Which is understandable.
Yeah, expected.
Yeah, we see why Burgess is invested in this and why Blackbeard's invested in this. So you can have a powerful devil fruit user. He's gonna give the fruit to Burgess.
Yeah, pretty quick exchange here.
There is something else that comes up in this conversation. I'm not sure if that was picked up on. Blackbeard says, "Z ha ha ha." Doesn't that go for Shirio too? So Shirio's still with Blackbeard.
Yeah, I
Then
was yeah.
And then Burgess says, "Yeah, but I just can't bring myself to trust Aokiji's word on this."
I
So why
remember
is
that.
Aokiji talking to the Blackbeard pirates?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Hmm. What the heck is what was Smoker talking about at the end of Punk Hazard there? What's going on here?
Wasn't he kind of saying like Aokiji's the wild card?
Yeah, like he asks, like what, like where do you stand?
Yeah.
Yeah, who are you right now?
Yeah,
What?
uh-huh.
Yeah.
And
What's your
we never
deal?
get an answer.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Just something to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, what do you guys think about this scene with Rebecca and Luffy in the prison area?
At first, I hated it because I was like, I really liked Rebecca's character, and this felt like a betrayal. But it's also like they're gladiators in a battle to the death, and like she just saw Luffy fight. She has like very moral and good reasons for wanting the flame fruit, and she just saw Luffy kick some serious ass, and is like, my best chance at killing this guy is in a seedy way. But then after thinking about it, I'm like, I think this makes sense because there's no way she could have killed him one on one without help. And so she was doing what she could to make her odds better at getting the flame fruit, to like save all of these poor, injured, wounded gladiators who are, in a lifelong contract to battle to the death. I mean, she has noble goals, even though she went about, trying to obtain them in a non-noble way. I think it was kind of practical for, her situation. So I feel like I can't blame her too harshly. And I think Luffy felt the same way. Like he was like, you're not, your heart's not in this. Like I
Mhm.
see what you're trying to do.
Yeah, and to that point, I mean, really the goal right now is she's going to have to kill him in the next round
Right.
if she wins anyway.
Only one stands. So
So it's kind of like I'm probably going to have to do this eventually. So if I'm going to reach the end, I kind of have to do this. It doesn't seem like she wants to, and she feels bad about it, but like she needs to kind of see it through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luckily, Luffy is who he is, and this plays out the way it does.
yeah.
Yeah. There's a difference between this being a one. Hey, let's just get this done in advance. Meet me outside, one on one, fair sort of thing, and the ambush with like the extra help to immobilize it. But just as far as like the honor aspect, to me, it does read as a moment of weakness for Rebecca.
Yeah.
But but Luffy is the person who can differentiate between a moment of weakness and someone being wicked. So that says enough for me right here, and just gets me more invested and curious about just how deep the need is for Rebecca to do this.
Yeah, and the fact that Rebecca gave Luffy food proves that she's a good person. We've already known this is Luffy's
Yeah.
logic.
Yeah,
This has come up
That's the key
before.
to Luffy's heart. Give him food and he will, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, luckily that actually does kind of win Rebecca over. So yeah, this is an unfortunate situation. Rebecca is, I think, a likable character, and normally she seems to be like a good person, but like Cody said, like this is a moment of weakness where she has to make this call for the greater good that she isn't happy about doing, but this is her best chance of possibly winning this thing, so she can achieve her goal of trying to get back at Doflamingo to help this country.
Yeah. Yeah, we've said it a million times. Luffy is a good judge of character, if
Yeah.
nothing else.
Yeah, I think that's great about the scene too. Like Luffy's able to recognize that. This is like a good example of Luffy recognizing like the true character of somebody.
Yeah.
He's not judging her based on her actions, like he's judging her based on who he believes this person to be.
Yeah.
I did think it was funny. He thought the prisoners were mummies.
Yeah. I also think the panel when he dodges goes like really hard. He's like eating from the box as he's like dodging the
Yeah.
sword
Oh yeah,
blade. I'm like this goes so hard. Like why is it so good?
yeah, that's awesome.
And then he pins her with no hands. Like yeah, that was a pretty baller move.
Yeah, doesn't miss a bite.
Doesn't miss a bite. Don't mess with me while I'm eating my meat.
Yeah, so again, more tragedy for Dressrosa, where we have these people who were put into this prison because they stood up to Doflamingo. So their punishment was to be put into the gladiator rings and just fight until they die. And they're not getting well taken care of. See, some of them have been maimed. Everybody's got bandages and like they're covered in wounds. So they don't have a good chance. So like every time they go into the ring, it's probably gonna be their last time. This is kind of like what happens to people who stand up against Doflamingo. And the Coliseum is kind of like a way for Doflamingo to oppress people. And we're seeing that, even though like the crowd loves it and it's like fun for them, for the people doing these fights, like this is their life. Like they don't want to be somebody's entertainment. Like they're being used and they're being forced to fight. Like otherwise they're just gonna be killed outright. So yeah, this is kind of like the best that they can hope for, unfortunately.
Yeah, just showing how heartless Doflamingo and Co are.
Yeah, they say, but a decade ago, before Doflamingo became king, these arena battles didn't last to the death. The light and darkness of his kingdom are polar opposites.
Yeah, sounds like going from sport to imprisonment.
Yeah, and similar to we talked about with Luffy. So Rebecca wants to be able to protect the people that she cares about. So she's tired of being the one getting help, and she wants to protect. So we see this, like these little like flashback scenes, but it looks like she cares about this toy soldier. We've seen like, some interactions with him before.
Yeah,
but she cares about this toy soldier, and she wants to get this devil fruit power to help protect him and the people that she cares about. Okay, anything else for this chapter? Okay. Let's move on to Caribou's New World, Kihihi, Volume 38, Take Over Scotch the Oppressor. Caribou uses his swamp fruit powers to overtake Scotch's body.
gross.
Yeah, that's not the way I want to go out.
I don't enjoy this at all. Also, some random dudes like caught in this, and I don't know what side he's on. All I know is I don't want to be him.
Yeah, pretty brutal. Evan, did you have something?
Well, it's kind of a tangent, but remember, so Caribou can like store people within himself.
Yeah.
And so this scene got me thinking, like, what if Caribou does kind of rise to power? Because we know he has this like valuable information, so he is playing a role in this story, whether we want him to be or not. And so I do think he'll make a reappearance at some point. And I was like thinking how crazy it would be to like have a battle inside of Caribou, because there's like where are these people going? Like what's happening? Where are these people being stored? It's kind of like Blackbeard also kind of has that ability where he can like store stuff seemingly in like a void space.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about like if there was a battle inside of Caribou, Straw Hats take on Caribou from the inside.
Yeah, you just figured out the end of One Piece.
Boom. Called it.
And you've been listening to the We Are Reading One Piece podcast. See you never again because the story is over. Thank you so much.
Way to go, Evan. You ruined it.
Took this idiot 72 volumes to figure it out.
We've been waiting for that since volume 1. Come on, dude. Take it this long.
Fucking shit. I can finally read Hunter x Hunter in peace. Thank God.
Yeah, so hopefully that doesn't happen. I mean, I'm sorry, but I hope your theory is wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, me too. I hope Caribou dies at the end of this cover story.
Okay, let's.
Should have ended 6 volumes ago.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're wrong on that one, Evan.
Damn. Well,
Caribou is like your weak spot.
Yeah, I just don't like him. I just don't want the redemption arc. I know that's what's happening now, and I just don't want it. Anywho.
All right, well, let's get into the last chapter of the episode and the volume. Chapter 721, Rebecca and the Soldier. Rebecca explains to Luffy that she's afraid that the toy soldier is going to die in the battle. She explains the toys are human beings and bring so much joy to the people of Dressrosa, lamenting that it's not fair that they can't live together. After her mother died, the toy soldier took her in and raised her like a father. The announcement is made that the arena is ready and it's time for Block D to begin. As Rebecca makes her way to enter the stadium, she thinks back on her time as a child. She used to help her mother, Scarlet, gather flowers to go into town to sell them. The people of Dressrosa panicked, alarmed that the Riku royal army had set fire to the town. Scarlet noticed the royal palace was also set on fire. Diamante attacked one of the soldiers, who urged Lady Scarlet to run for her life. The toy soldier arrived, holding Diamante off to allow Scarlet and Rebecca to escape. As they hid in the flower field, Scarlet told Rebecca to stay here so she can go into town and try to find something for her to eat. After some time had passed, the toy soldier arrived, carrying Scarlet's body. He apologizes that he was unable to save her. He was able to bring back some bread for Rebecca, but she begins to cry as she processes that her mother is gone. The soldier explains that her mother was a very special and powerful person, but there was a new king now. They are hunting anyone who was important to the old king, so they would be coming for her. The soldier vows to protect her. Doflamingo makes a public announcement to the people of Dressrosa as their new king, accusing the Riku dynasty of taking valuables from the people, but he will be the one to usher in a time of wealth for everyone. The soldier and Rebecca find an abandoned home in the town that was burned down. The toy soldier would not be allowed to live here with her, but he promised to return every morning and drop a flower petal at her window as proof that he was there. Over time, the soldier stayed by Rebecca's side, protecting her and trying to cheer her up when she was sad. When she was old enough, he taught her how to fight and to protect herself. Back in the present, Rebecca steps into the Coliseum, greeted by a chorus of boos and death threats. Luffy is confused as to why the people hate her. One of the prisoners explains that Rebecca's grandfather was the previous king, Riku. It's another revelation. Yeah, so what do you guys think of this Rebecca backstory?
Classic Oda backstory, man. Just like right in the heart. Yeah, people only die in Oda backstories.
Yeah.
Without exception.
Without exception.
Always gotta be somebody dying in these backstories.
Yeah. No, this is heart wrenching. I mean, this is so sad.
Yeah, just like
But
the
the
scene with
toys,
the toy soldier coming back with Scarlet's body. It's just like
yeah,
really devastating.
awful. But the toy soldier was there since the invasion, right? So it seems like he seems like a very pivotal character.
Yeah, because so why? Yeah, that you bring a good question. Why was he protecting them before before Rebecca even knew who he was? That's
Yeah, and like
mhm.
didn't the toy thing start happening after the invasion? Like didn't Dofi bring that with him?
Yes. So I think this gives us like a timeline
Yeah.
of when this happens and how long this person has been a toy.
Yeah. And I don't know, this might just be a random guess, but like the fact that he is missing a limb, like after having just seen all the gladiators, like it makes me wonder if maybe he was a gladiator before and was missing a limb due to his fights in the arena in the Coliseum.
Okay. Okay. I mean, that would make sense.
I just wonder how he would have gotten involved with Doflamingo then.
Yeah, we don't really get a lot more on him.
But he brought Rebecca food, which, as we know, is the one sign you can tell a person's good.
Good point. We just saw this happen the last chapter.
Yeah.
Yup. That really is Luffy's love language.
But there's something also just like so universal about that though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's
It's
become
the
such
basis of
a
Sanju's character as well.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I don't know the fact that it's something that's just so universal to like staying alive, but can be also something so silly. Like the fact
Also,
we can take this basic thing as like a oh silly fucking Luffy, but I don't know. There's just something powerful. I'm not expressing it well, but there's just something really, really, really nice
well,
about that.
I wonder if it's like a cultural thing. Like, I wonder if in Japan that sentiment is held in like higher regard than it is maybe in the States. Because it's also Zoro's intro, eating the
Yeah.
rice, like eating
Yeah,
food that was given to him, like forcing it down. Like, I feel like it's just been a theme throughout and it's integrated into like, everything. So I
yeah,
wonder if it's more of like a cultural difference, or not even difference, but just like cultural like
Like an
significance.
emphasis.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a chance that Japan doesn't like, just throw out billions of tons of food every day. And so that might, but anyway, so maybe, that's something it's they're more conscious of. I just think it's something like, hey, I need this to stay alive.
yeah,
You can have it.
sustenance.
There's just like
I
such a
think it's
gesture
universal.
behind it.
Yeah, I think it's just like the universal. I want you to be okay.
Yeah, it's like a selfless
I'm
thing
not-
of like, and I'm trying to take care of you and make sure that you can keep living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also just something, it's so simple. It's just such a
Yeah.
simple thing to do for someone too. But there's so much weight behind it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Ah!
something that we take for granted as well. But like, in these situations, like Scarlet and Rebecca were on the run from what was happening here. So they see that like this palace is on fire. Now being hunted because they have some kind of connection to the Riku kingdom. Like they're trying to hide out in this flower field. And Rebecca's mom, Scarlet, says that she's going to go and get some food for her because it's been 2 days and they haven't had any food. At least like the toy soldier comes back and does give her food because she hasn't eaten in 2 days. And it's also interesting that she says in the previous chapter when Luffy says like, "Oh, you're not gonna eat anything," she says, "Oh, I'm not hungry. Like I don't get hungry." So I think this is kind of like a callback to that as well. Yeah, in this case here, like the toy soldier comes back and is trying to nurture her and take care of her and protect her. But we don't know exactly like who the soldier is, but we just know that they at least care about Rebecca. They might have like some kind of duty to like protect her or something.
Yeah.
I just love seeing.
Respect for Tin Soldier too. This guy's a class act. And another reference to Dofi's human trafficking, like at the end here. They try to steal Rebecca for human trafficking,
Mhm.
which we know
Yeah, that
is
was pretty
heavily
gross.
associated with Doflamingo.
Yeah. That's crazy how Punk
Oh,
has
and
one.
the pedal callback too. We get the
Yeah.
pedal
There's the
earlier on the
context.
windowsill.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, that hit.
It's
So
That hit.
now we
so
know
cute.
who left the pedal and why.
Yes, very sweet.
I also just love seeing Rebecca in the flashback slowly warm up to the soldier.
Yeah.
Goes to this little like I'm all over the place. I'm falling down.
Yeah.
Oh no! It's just
Well,
slowly starting to
she
find his
throws a
body.
rock at him. She threw a rock at him like early
Yeah.
on after he fed her or gave her the food.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, that was sweet.
But yeah, I do like his like little attempt to try to cheer her up, where he just kind of like flips around with his body and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's such like a sweet little thing that he does.
It's really sweet.
Yeah, he's just trying to cheer her up, which is what toys are. Like, it's interesting how that plays into like that's all a toy is like
Yeah.
Mm,
like you know, in a way.
yeah. Something to give you levity.
Yeah. And sometimes there's like a sentimental value to like certain toys as well.
Yeah. No, this is sweet. I really enjoyed. I mean, Oda's so good at this. Like his backstories are like he's able to pack so much into such a brief little window and give you so much about that character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially when he does it like the one page, like the I think 2/3 of a page in this one where he does it without any words too.
Yeah,
Chef's
so
kiss.
well done.
Mhm.
Chef's kiss. Oh my god.
Yeah, and then it sets up this really badass walkout for Rebecca being like booed by the whole crowd and everything.
Actually, before we leave the flashback real quick, we do get the that little snippet of Dopey talking to the people of Dressrosa. Uh,
Yeah,
Mhm.
saying Riku Dynasty presided a land of misery and poverty for centuries. Finally, they even sank to stealing valuables from their citizens in an act of shameless greed. It's giving deep state.
He's gonna drain the swamp.
It's giving drain the swamp. It's huge drain the swamp energy.
It trickle down
Mhm.
economics over here.
Yep. Yeah. And I'm just like, damn it, Oda. He's too good
yeah.
sometimes. He's too real sometimes.
Oh, other side note. Now that I've been like, I don't know if I've discussed this before or brought this up, but Dofi's jolly. So like, have we talked about this?
Um, I don't know
To
if
some
we've had a
capacity.
conversation about it.
I just think it's interesting. I just like now knowing Dofi as well as I do. I feel like it's interesting that his jolly is like the smiling skull, which makes perfect sense, like
Mhm.
obviously. But then there's a giant cross through it, and it's like I'm
Yeah.
curious. I'm curious what the symbolism is there, and I wonder if it's kind of like his two-facedness, like if it's like all a facade, and that's kind of the symbolism with the cross through it. But
Or is it something
because it's so
prohibitive?
simple,
Like the null symbol, like the big red.
right? Yeah, 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 totally. Yeah, it gives that vibe.
Or
Like
maybe it's like
not happy.
or it's like symbolizing Dressrosa, where it's like happy on the surface, but like down below
Right,
it's
like that,
it's
like
tragic.
two-faced kind of like, yeah,
And maybe that also applies to Doflamingo. He's
right,
smiling on the surface, but he's not happy on the inside.
yeah.
We've almost only like 99% of the time we've seen him smiling.
He's always smiling.
I can think of like maybe 2 panels so far where we haven't, and even then,
Right.
it's maybe 2.
He's got
But
mad
that's
face
his
on.
thing.
Like you're saying, like when Rebecca comes out and everybody's like booing at her, and they say like "Die loser, scum of Riku dynasty, descendant of evil." So the public has a very bad perception of her,
Yeah.
which like surprises Luffy. Like Luffy's like, she's so nice. Like why do people hate her? And they hate her because she has ties to the previous dynasty, the previous kingdom, where her grandpa was the old king. So that's why she was
Yeah.
important to the previous rulers.
Mhm.
Which makes this walkout like all the more badass because it's like she doesn't have to be here. She's not being forced to go into that arena. Like she chose this and is walking out there knowing exactly what that would mean.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Badass.
Like this probably happens like every time.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
Yeah, and that's where we end things right at the start of the Block D battle.
Becky, Cavendish, who else we got in Block D? Anybody of note so far?
Oh yeah, Cavendish. Do you refer to Rebecca as Becky?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
I have no
Just make sure we're talking about.
it's just for abbreviation's sake.
Okay, so we got Mummy, Orlumbus, Cavendish, Fighting Lion, Meadows, Rebecca, Damask, Rolling Logan, Acelia, and Suleiman.
Meadows.
Becky, Becky, Becky.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like not trying to read too far into it, but I do feel like Oda has, some patterns to some of his arcs and like Rebecca feels like the like damsel in distress direct descendant to the line like when Luffy inevitably comes in here and just fucks up the entire like societal structure and like flips this entire town of Dressrosa on its head, which I very much hope happens. Like Rebecca seems like the person to naturally step into that role, and I feel like we saw that with Vivi, we saw that with the princess
Like
in
Shirahoshi.
Shirahoshi.
Yep.
Uh, so I feel like I'm seeing Rebecca as that character stepping into this arc.
Another princess.
Yep.
Another damsel in distress with a direct line to the throne. So like, here we go. Here we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
we'll
Vivi
see.
is the first one that came
We'll
to mind,
see.
but we will see.
We'll see.
So yeah, any other final thoughts for the chapter or the volume as a whole?
Oh, we got so little Law and Dofi. I was like really ready for that. I'm like, I want to see these guys throw some fists, but we didn't really get much of that.
Not too much.
As
I mean, again,
thirsty
there's
for
so
more
many
law
plots
content-
happening.
No, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, as thirsty for more law content as I always am, Law Dofi Fujitora, I think I have a feeling that's gonna be worth the wait. However
Oh
long.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
I'm
yeah.
sure you're right. Yeah, I know because I was just antsy for it. I was just like, I really want to see this how this starts to shake out. So I guess I'm looking forward to that in upcoming chapters.
I also feel more like again, I'm not, but I feel more like I'm reading this for the first time than I have for any other point of the story you've been in so far. So just being able to explore that is also it's a very new lens. It's very refreshing. So I'm just
Isn't it cool though? Like, isn't
yeah.
it cool reading something like for the first time and then breaking it down? Because I feel like for me, I'm having this experience where I read it on my own and I'm having all these realizations and it's great. But then I get to break it down on the pod, and it's like I'm catching things that I didn't catch the first time around.
Mhm.
Y'all are catching things y'all didn't
Yep.
catch the third or fourth time around, or even like the first time. Like it's just cool. It's just cool, like going back and breaking it down for me because it's like a few of the realizations I had on today's podcast, like I didn't have until we were in the pod. Like even
Yeah.
when I was reading it earlier this week and like taking notes and like getting ready for the pod, like it's things didn't cross my mind until like the three of us sat down and talked about it. So like it's cool. It's
Yeah.
just a cool way of experiencing this series.
Yeah, and that's simply why I want to go chapter by chapter because there are details in
Yeah,
every chapter,
yeah,
and I think every chapter is worth talking about. And like, if you're reading it week to week, you are reading it one chapter at a time.
Yeah.
So I think
yeah.
it's important
That's
to
true.
recognize, and like, I don't want to like have to rush through like the entire story because like part of the whole goal is to enjoy like the experience and get into the nitty gritty and try to look at the details that might be some that like are easy to like overlook or they like might be very subtle or some things might be like very overt or some things might like have themes tied to it. Like I feel like you guys do a great job of like bring up these themes that I tend to overlook, but when you bring up these connections, like it becomes like a lot more apparent. I'm like I can totally see these connections now. So yeah, I that's one of the aspects that I do want to encourage, like as like but being part of the podcast is to just go into like these more detailed conversations about chapter instead of like giving like just a quick overview of, like the whole story. Like I want to get into like the small details, and
Love it.
I hope that listeners enjoy that as well. If they're looking for something like that, like I want to be able to provide that for them.
And if there are like details that anyone listening to this is like, well, hey, there's also this thing that's kind of popped like
Yeah.
yeah, like I again like part of what I love about like hearing Evan read it for the first time is like Evan, you talk about me and Joel hitting things like on our third or fourth reread we did here. Cool, you'll hit something on the first read that I haven't thought of for like
Uh-huh.
5 times seeing this one moment. So just
Yeah.
yeah, it's there's never too many cooks in the kitchen with when it comes to One Piece. So
Or even like see the plot points that are things that like I didn't pick up on, or like you have an idea of like where things are going. Where I'm like blown away by some of these like plot developments. Like, oh yeah, I saw that coming. That was pretty obvious. I'm like, to me, I'm like, I had no idea that was coming.
yeah.
True. But you probably read it for the first time in like high school too, like just like where
I
you
was
were
like in
at in your
college.
life when you with their or college, like your first
Yeah,
experience with it. Like I'm coming to it, as an adult who's also reading it like with friends in this setting. So like I feel like I
yeah.
am analyzing it in a different way than just like a casual reader who's just sitting down and just having fun and enjoying the
Hmm.
story. I'm like looking forward to our discussions and like analyzing, in a sense, and just kind of
Yeah.
like breaking it down. And so I feel like that brings a different angle to it, which I'm deeply enjoying. Like I feel like,
Good.
I need more book clubs in my life.
To be
It's just
fair,
Yeah.
to
it's
Evan, like,
cool.
yeah.
But yeah, it's a cool way of experiencing, literature instead of just being a casual reader.
Yeah. And I'm glad that you're enjoying it, and finding it rewarding. And I hope again, I hope listeners are finding it rewarding as well. Yeah, that's kind of been my approach to the reason for this podcast. So I'm glad
Hell yeah.
mission accomplished. But yeah, I'm personally very excited for what's coming up, and there's a lot of big developments that happened in just this part of the volume. Just Rose has been pretty crazy, and we're starting to see a lot of the storylines and the plot threads that felt very separate are now starting to come together, and it's starting to feel pretty cohesive. Like there's still a lot of different moving parts, and things can get crazy. We'll have to see how things go from here, but we're starting to see the pieces coming together in a way that I think is very gratifying, and I think this is just like a super exciting arc. I know I say everything's exciting, but it really is. But Just Rosa just has so much going on, and there's a lot to look forward to. So just
Can't wait.
buckle up. Okay, but that will conclude this week's episode of the We Are Reading One Piece podcast. You can find this episode wherever podcasts are found at We're Reading One Piece podcast.buzzsprout.com or on the YouTube channel at We're Reading One Piece. This is a spoiler free channel up to where we have recorded the podcast. So if you're new to the series, you can visit the channel there. You can also find me and this podcast on my YouTube channel at Power King Codex for more One Piece content. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, you can reach us at wearereadingonepiece@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from listeners, so if you're enjoying the show, or if you have any suggestions on how to make it better, let us know. Next episode, we'll be starting volume 73, Operation Dressrosa SOP. I've been Joel, and I've been joined by Evan
Thanks for listening.
and Cody.
The legendary hero of the One Piece, Evan Mullen.
Yay, it's me, the hero. Evan Land, actually.
yeah, Evan Land.
Evan win. Yeah.
All right. Well, be sure to bring along all your hopes and dreams, and we'll see you on the next episode.